So it's a little after 9, and I'm gonna try and get us out of here on time. Everybody, quiet on the goddamn set. Shh. I did it again. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna do it right this time.
What'd you do?
I go to the camera.
Last week he did
the camera
intro.
instead of the intro. Here it is, again. Christ.
Professionalism!
Hey nerds, and welcome to the gutter. My name is Steven. Joining me today is Byronic Commando.
Good evening.
He has this is Chuck. He has a Twitch channel. This is Lauren over here. How's it going, Lauren? Sam, why don't you scoot in a little bit more since you're a little off camera there.
And all of the energy.
Well, I can't resist that.
Just a smidge.
Good God.
I appreciate
Hello.
it. This is Sam. Sam, you may recognize from our GTA Online heist series or from our Enter the Gungeon playthrough and other Destiny playthrough.
Definitely Enter the Gungeon, because that was one time where you have been in front of the camera. Whereas most of the time during the GTA streams,
and Destiny,
you are just a buddy voice.
A douchey voice.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you watch that Gungeon video that I put up, by the way?
I remember you mentioning it, and I meant to, but I have not gotten to it yet.
It's quite good. It's mostly you doing silly voices and making fun of Jonathan.
So, every other time you're on the show.
Sam's mic is a little bit loud. Chuck, would you run up over there to
That's because I'm the most important.
to number 2 and just tweak it down just a slight. Just a slight. Yeah, just a bit. That's good. That's good. You're good.
Can you hear me now?
Jesus Christ!
Today we're going to be talking about scary games to recommend for October. But before that, guys, today's episode is brought to you by crippling paranoia. Can be fucking cutthroat.
That's Skipbo, kid.
Shut up. The same shit.
Don't you know the difference between Uno and Skippo?
Fucking, it's the same shit. Who won that game? Also, was your grandma over? Because I've only played Skipbo with my grandma.
His parents were over, I think.
No, that was one of the first nights that Crystal's boys stayed over. And Crystal likes playing Skipbo, so I guess Crystal equals grandma.
Are you planning on being this in the whole time? Because I usually try to get both couches.
Because every time I sit over here, I'm always off camera, so you want me to scoot
Do you not see the camera? It's literally right in front of you.
You can be there if you want. You can twist the camera a little bit and give Sam a little bit more room.
Fix this real quick.
No, do not touch that!
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Oh, wait, no, yeah, you can touch it, and then I can sit further from Steven.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the whole idea.
There we go.
Oh,
that.
God.
No, you're still off frame!
camera.
If I can't do it, you can't do it either.
It's fine. No one wants to see that half
Guys,
of my
if
face.
you want professionalism, go watch the
Gutter
Attack.
Nerds.
Go watch some other channel. And guys, by the way, if you at the end of each episode we do a toast. If you'd like to do the toast with our official Gutter Nerds glass, you can do so by going to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/gutternerds. Check out our shop. They're $15, and we will send you one right to your door. That's Circle K. That's not it.
Did you just
But it looks
your...
similarly shaped.
It is
was
similarly
never
shaped.
full to begin with. Okay,
Today's
there's water
episode is brought to you by Circle K, apparently.
There we
Strange
go.
things are afoot.
Perfect, nailed it. What you been playing? Chuck, what you been playing?
Fucking PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, man.
You've been hitting the battlegrounds.
Oh my god, I've been hitting the Battlegrounds. Game guy, I told you, kid. As soon as I got a copy of that game, the only reason I'm playing Lords of the Fallen right now is so I can finish it.
What? That's a great game.
It is.
Okay.
It is a really great game.
Well, I'm
it's
just saying, you enjoy it.
Oh my god.
Enjoy it and give it its due.
I will.
Don't rush through Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah.
I'm not rushing through Lords of the... You can't rush through Lords of the Fallen.
Okay.
I'm at the part where I'm starting to fight humans.
You just sounded
so it's all
very
really hard.
disrespectful right there.
Well, I mean, I have PUBG right now, and I was immediately hooked onto it.
Yeah, what's the deal with PUBG? Everybody loves PUBG. I don't get it.
Me either.
It is an experience that is relatively unique game-wise, in which the sort of survival battle royale style is fairly unique in and of itself, but also it's very I don't know. There's a realistic aspect to it where like
Whatever, you just like that it makes you feel like Katniss.
Then why do I like it?
Because it makes you feel like Katniss, Chuck.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. You just don't want to admit it.
No, it
You
doesn't.
love that movie.
Alicia screaming, "Use the nice photo I sent you." She didn't send me a nice photo. And also, if I had a nice photo, I'd use it. And second of all, that is a nice photo. I just took a picture of it right out of the box. Every week I have to explain the fucking photo. I'm not doing it.
What photo?
The photo of the glass. I had a light box. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I had a light box. With a nice diffusing the light, so I put the thing in the light box, and anyway.
People complain that
about literally
the
everything.
picture is dirty because it does.
The glass in the picture does look
because
dirty.
the light box you used is such a great prism of light that the glass in the box looks dirty.
Well, I want to ask you this.
Sure, yeah.
Why not send the glasses to people dirty intentionally? Because it's your thing.
Well, they are going to be dirty. Even if I clean it and pack it and send it, it's going to be dirty when it gets there. They're going to have to clean it anyway.
No, but they're going to have to clean it regardless, but make it dirty with your own dirt.
Sam, what have you been playing?
Yeah, what have you been playing?
I've been playing
New Vegas.
Fallout 4. Actually, no, I stopped
Oh yeah, you
playing
haven't
New
played
Vegas.
Fallout 4.
Because I got in New Vegas, I got stuck in the big MT, and that was just annoying as fuck. So I started playing 4.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a DLC.
I actually have to play Fallout Vegas eventually.
It's great. Just be prepared for the big MT. It's long, and you're stuck there until you finish it.
Yeah,
and I
that's
got
right. You
sick of
can't
it.
leave.
So
Right.
I started playing Fallout 4, and I friggin' love it. Like there's so much more connect with the story and the character now that the main character is voiced. I love that.
Yeah.
I
agree
love.
with you there.
I have spent possibly more time modding it on my Xbox One than I have spent playing it,
Okay.
and I am happy with that.
That's tremendous. Will had a similar reaction to Fallout 4, and I loved Fallout 4, and I won't say anything about the ending, partly because I don't fucking remember it, but I remember loving Fallout 4 until the game ended, and I was like, that's it?
Yeah.
I was like, well, let's see what else there is to do. Open the map. Oh, nothing. Well, fuck you. And so then I got mad.
Yeah.
We actually retracted back when we were AC. We gave Fallout 4 Game of the Year, and then we
back and gave
retracted
it to
and gave it to
Witcher
Witcher 3. Yeah.
You know what I remember from Fallout 4?
What do you remember?
Guess what I remember from Fallout 4? I'll give you a hint. There's a goddamn video of it.
Oh, Kellogg, the fight with Kellogg.
Yeah.
Oh, that one that you did like 12 times?
It was like 16 deaths or something like that.
Oh
and
my god.
Now,
Dick, he remembers Dick.
who doesn't?
I do, yeah, I remember.
That was a hard fight.
Yeah.
I had a hard time with that fight. I probably did it about 10 or 12 times.
That's on
the
the
Kellogg fight?
Yeah.
Was I really the only one who did it like maybe twice?
Yes.
It may have been your build. I don't know.
You may be better at Fallout 4 than we are, but we fucking ate it
Well,
at Kellogg.
I mean,
And Apex Train says also, yeah, the ending for was terrible. Thank you,
I mean-
Apex. I was agree.
Just don't blow anything for me,
I mean,
all right?
I had
We
to
won't.
fucking
Nothing?
play.
Go ahead.
You dirty boy.
I played it for like. I had to play it for like an extra year because I was stuck on that one part, and I'm not gonna spoil that for you.
Yeah.
But like, I even asked Game Guy. I was like, for the love of God, what the fuck am I doing wrong? And so Peter will actually, back me up on this too. I'm like, I did 6 separate videos on how to fucking build it because it was not connecting.
The I know what you're talking about.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
transformer.
yeah.
The transformer. And so I was like, for the fucking love of God. So I get Game Guy, I think on Skype or something, and he's like, did you turn it on and on? Like, he said something stupid, and I'm like, of fucking course I did. He goes, take it all down and rebuild it. I'm like, it's not gonna work. He's like, just do it. And so I did it, and I'm like, the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
The fuck did you do?
Well,
Because it
the
worked.
building in Fallout 4, as you've done some building stuff, right? Creating some things.
I'm aware of how it works. I mostly have fucked with it
Did you
because
build-
I don't really see a point.
Did you build in it, Chuck?
No. I didn't want to waste my time.
I built a house and then put nothing in it and don't use it.
Well, because they require
American dream, right?
Yeah.
But in the beginning, they require you to like build up the settlement or whatever.
They don't even require you to. It's. I mean, if you want to
You do like
do
6
that,
things, and that's
yeah.
it. And so
You build beds and,
Right.
and like water pumps and
and
couple
that's
of
it.
guns.
That's
Yeah.
truly
Yeah.
it. And so, and I guess if you play with like the electrical mechanic a little more, it helps you. But oh man,
wiring things up is like pretty
thing.
specific, and
It's
you have to
very
get things
specific.
in the right
and
place.
if you don't do it in the correct order, it won't work. And it's irritating as shit.
Yeah.
But
Either.
excuse me, Fallout 4 was a great game. And
I have one other game that I've been playing that I want to extol the virtues of.
And what is this game?
It is actually a free-to-play app game on my iPad, or you can get it on your phone. It's called Fire Emblem Heroes, and I fucking love that game.
I'm done with that game. It
What?
has been the same shit over and over and over again.
Well, yeah, I mean, like all
Like they don't have
free-to-play
any of the
games
good
are.
characters anymore.
What do you mean they don't have any good? They have
They're
all of
all-
the characters.
They do not have all the characters for starters, because if they did that, they would have literally thousands of characters. Secondly, the really good characters, of course, are 5-star, and so there's that. But they have rigged it so that the 5 stars from Fire Emblem Awakening and Fire Emblem Fates are so much easier to get than any of the others before them.
Dude, I've got Ike, Marth, Roy.
I've never fucking seen these people before. The only time I've ever seen Marth is in the loading screen.
Well, I mean, there are characters that I want that I've never gotten, but that's the point. You don't get everything you
Well,
want.
Chris Callie says it's the most pointless game ever.
stop saying words incorrectly. Oh my god.
No. I said that because he had just said there was a point, so I was stressing the pointless part.
He
of
was
it.
stressing the pointless.
Yeah. Lauren, what you been playing?
I'm in mourning.
Yeah. Because
Is
you
that a
finished
fun game?
BioShock
Finished
Infinite.
BioShock Infinite.
Okay, wait, have you finished BioShock Infinite, Sam?
It's the one with the pinky girl?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a great one.
Okay, so we're
I'm
going to
in
talk
so much
just
mourning.
very briefly about the ending of BioShock Infinite.
And I'm going to check out because I
Oh
haven't
no! Wait.
beaten File
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
So we're not gonna-
Then we won't. Then we won't. I thought we were all on the same page. I take it back.
So long story short, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But the point, the point in the game that I was in was the big, it's the big battle scene,
Okay.
and it's right at the end. And Peter Pena, and you brought this point up, I think. It was either you or you, and I told you that he said, "Oh, you know, it's a huge game change when you pick her emblem." And
Okay.
he admitted to it. He goes, "I just wanted you to finish the game."
Oh, okay.
He admitted
Okay.
to it.
Yes.
He admitted to it.
Gotcha.
He admitted
Yeah.
to it. But
I'm on to your game, sir.
when I was at that point, I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to do the big boss battle is what I thought it was." And I was like, "Peter says I'm halfway through the game," and again, he was like, "You weren't. I just wanted you to
Wanted
finish."
you to get
Yeah.
motivated to finish it.
And so that one took me 6 or 7 times to finally beat.
I won't talk about the ending of BioShock Infinite, Chuck, but I will tell you that after the ending of BioShock Infinite, I went. I sat down my controller, and without blinking, I walked outside and I stared into the sun for 4 minutes.
No,
And I thought
I completely agree.
And I thought I could die, and it won't matter.
Hey, why did it make you feel
because all these
It's just a lot. It's
makes-
just a real lot.
it makes you think that you're in the wrong dimension. That's what it made me think of. You're in the wrong life, and you're actually not supposed to be like this.
Like
It
I went
really
outside and I
makes
tried to
you-
fuse to like a like
gives
I
you
tried to
an
revert to a
existential-
monocellular being.
Yes, it
and
gives
just
like as if we already didn't have like an existential crisis. I can't say the word.
existential?
Yeah,
yeah,
crisis.
you can get on to me for saying words.
I know.
Take the Jaeger
I
away from
know.
me real quick.
But it does. It makes you think you're either not supposed to be the way you are, or you have a better version of you
I
that you
don't
don't
need
know.
BioShock Infinite to tell me this shit.
I was about to say, I already know I'm not the way I'm supposed to be.
And so I did. Peter walks in because he had left for some reason, and he came back, and I'm like, I'm just
Wait, so I don't
Checking in
recall.
and-
Does the choice make a difference?
no, it doesn't.
No,
It doesn't.
Not really.
So he just wanted
la,
you to
la,
play
la.
it twice.
No, he admitted,
Earmuffs,
he was
Chuck.
like, just do this for a second.
God, I hate that guy.
And this is a spoiler for those who haven't played it. When she's old.
Wait. Give everybody a second.
I said spoiler.
But you got to give them a second to like turn off their volume or plug their ears or something. When my hat goes back, we'll be good.
Okay, so when she becomes old and she gives you the paper that's like, here are the instructions you need to give to my younger self, so I don't become this martyr of what she became. All it is if you picked the bird. Ah, we got a new one.
Hey, good vlog.
The only difference is if you picked a bird, the instructions has a huge cage on it, and if you picked a cage, the instructions has a bird on it. That's the only difference.
Okay. You're good, Chuck. Okay. And Jonathan and Shark apparently have never watched any episodes of our podcast before, ever.
Why?
Because we always start with talking about games we've played and have a chit-chat, then get into topic. Yeah. Literally every single episode, so I'm not sure exactly what is strange.
He's a teacher.
Maybe it's because
he's a teacher now, and he teaches middle school, so he has to get the class into class mode as quickly as possible. So if we are too busy chatting, we are not teaching or learning.
We are not your class, sir.
We are not your class, sir.
But I made the point earlier. I said the only horror games I've played would be BioShock. So actually,
was that a horror
I'm
game?
introducing.
There are horror
Segue!
I'm introducing the horror.
Whoa!
Fuck you guys.
Way to bring us back to it.
Yeah, actually, so
Ew! Go back to that last one.
We'll get to the BioShock in a moment.
Ah!
But
that was the most horrific.
So I asked people online, then about like games that scared them and games they would recommend to other people for October in the Halloween spirit. And first of all, notice that Crazy Cat Lady has made this awesome Gutter Nerds jack-o'-lantern. Isn't that fucking awesome?
This is the thing
so
that
shout
I
out
to put like right there
to Whitney and Crazy Cat Lady for being awesome and making that.
She's very good at that. She made me Trololo Man on a pumpkin once.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I know, that's going to be stuck in your head all day
now.
now.
Do that song for karaoke one day.
And we had some cool responses. Give me a second real quick to pull up the Twitter, because Twitter was the first set to respond. Reserve List on Twitter said that F.e.a.r. Oh goodness! Sorry.
What was that?
I found it.
What the fuck was that? What was that?
I found it.
The only thing terrifying about this podcast is the technical aptitude.
And we're here. Yes, at Reserve List on Twitter said that F.e.a.r. was his recommendation for scary game, and that I absolutely agree with. It's a first-person shooter. It's pretty freaky. He recommended playing it on PC, where you can best experience the atmosphere and stuff.
I actually played F.e.a.r. It was pretty creepy. It was some like really cool visual effects that they used to sort of just freak you out, not just things jumping out at you and blood splatters.
Exactly. Apex Train says Outlast, and that's one that I have on my console. It was a game with gold a while ago, and I haven't played it yet. It is available on Xbox One. It is on PC.
I have it on Xbox One and PC.
Jonathan says he finds games scarier when he's not playing it. It's scarier when he's watching. But then he's also said that it is scarier when he's playing it, when we were playing Until Dawn. And so I don't think Jonathan knows.
So Jonathan is full of shit.
Yes. That's sort of what I'm getting at here. But Shark says some jump scares are okay, but they have to be well done.
Oh, yeah. And like no more than 2
well, it's
in
just
the
like
entire
horror
game.
movies.
In the entire game?
In the entire game.
Really? Why?
Because
it's
it
a
just
crutch.
Gets old. Yeah, it is. It's exactly that. It's a crutch.
Book Geeks UNC on Twitter also said
Go Tar Heels.
A game called Inside, which this is a screenshot of, and it has horror elements to it, but it's very creepy. It is a platformer, I think, kind of like Limbo.
Cool.
Like on that, in that aspect, but that was
jump across the people's heads.
I think they're in background, so I think he's coming down the pipe and sliding to the right.
So it's very much like Limbo. So he has to like break through that not so sturdy wall placement on the right?
That's sort of my guess
so
here.
Definitely like Limbo.
From watching this. Also, Caldane mentioned on Twitter, and so I will promote them. Red 6 did They're episode 31, or they don't do, they're not called episodes, they're called issue 31 of Red 6 to Golden Corral. Also, they have a list of like scary games. So check them out. If nothing that we talk about sounds great for you, go check out Red 6.
I'm sure you might get there. What's that game where you investigate stuff?
I am going to get there.
Okay.
That is going to be a
that
thing.
game where you investigate.
Hey, we're on the same page. We know what's going on.
Because we
I know
sure
what
as
you're
shit ain't.
I know what you're talking about. So Kat on Facebook actually mentioned one of the ones, Chuck, that you brought up. And it is called Eternal Darkness for the GameCube.
Oh, you could have got a better picture than that.
Oh man, I remember that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Eternal Darkness.
It was a third-person action game.
Zolotov.
Sort of like the controls and camera and stuff were sort of like Resident Evil. But when you aimed, you could aim at specific body parts like head, arm, leg, arm, torso. You also could use summons and sort of magic. Yeah. And it was very Lovecraftian.
But didn't it, like, anytime you used magic, it kind of made you go crazy or something?
Depending on what was going on in the game, you had a sanity meter. And the crazier that your character was,
That's cool.
random sort of out-of-game shit would happen. Like the volume would increase on its own. Or you would be walking down a hallway and your character would randomly lose an arm, and then it would like flash
Or
back
you
That's
on.
start
really
sinking
cool
into the
because
floor.
it
Or
actually
a roach
affects
would crawl
you.
across the screen.
Yeah.
But it would
Or-
affect you as the player, not so
Yes.
much you as the
Correct.
character.
Yeah.
That's
Or
really
the
cool.
one that really fucked people up is it convinced you, the player, that it was about to erase the contents of your memory
Yeah, with
card.
when you go to save, it was like save file corrupted, formatting memory card, and then it would flash.
Oh my
Like it did some
God.
good fuck with you shit. It was real
Speaking
good.
of fucking with you, and it is not a really a horror game, but was it Metal Gear Solid 2?
Metal Gear Solid 1 was the one where you were like, the Psycho Mantis would read your memory card.
Yeah, there was that, but no, Metal Gear Solid 2, like at the end when
The glitch was
Yeah, the
going
glitch.
on.
I
and,
need scissors, 61.
and it would pretend that you lost the game. It would say fishing
Fishing mailed.
mailed instead of mission failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had to keep playing on that tiny ass little screen.
And yes, JB says fish and mailed. Game Guy says murdered soul suspect. That to me wasn't so. I mean, it again
Well, that
horror
is-
elements to it.
That is the game that you investigate stuff.
That is one of the games, but it's
is
not the
one of
one
the
that Sam is
mini
talking
games.
about. But murdered soul suspect
No,
is
that's
pretty
not
good. Like that was one of the. I think we did a. Did we do a Twitch riff on murdered? We might have, but it was pretty cool. Apex Strain says, random spooky fact, the song that plays in the final boss fight in Silent Hill 1 is an engineered and musically altered dentist drill.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Because
And-
who likes the
yeah,
sound of that?
That's really weird and creepy.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Also
Be
on
fact-checking it.
Facebook,
No, I want to hear it.
Okay, so this one...
I've never...
Isn't that like
I've-
medieval?
Yeah.
I have played... Oh, wow, medieval. I have played Silent Hill Shattered Memories.
The GameCube one? Or the Wii one?
The Wii one?
Yeah.
And I remember that one creeped the fuck out of me. Like,
we're going to get to a little Silent Hill and Resident Evil.
I hope we do. We cannot have this episode and not bring up those two games.
Yeah. So Morgan Wagner, who is our dev friend, who has been on the show before, she's a junior mission designer on Mafia 3. So
She's not there, chat.
If
might be-
she's
she might be there.
watching,
She might be watching.
if she's in the chat
On
or
YouTube.
if she's watching on YouTube,
yeah.
If you're in the chat, declare yourself, Morgan.
But she said medieval, and she did it sort of tongue in cheek. But I don't know. Like this was her recommendation. Has anybody played medieval on PS?
it's
Played it a little bit. Yeah, it's more spooky,
It's spooky
than it is
kooky.
horror.
Would you say spoopy?
Yeah,
Like cute spooky?
yeah.
Cute spooky.
Yeah.
You keep
Okay.
using
the problem?
words that
I'll
I don't
allow
like.
it.
There's a whole
Oh my God, condemned.
reason like that. That was the
Okay.
one that we were talking about actually. So that was one to me.
Yeah,
That was
that's
an
the one.
enormous jump scare. Was Condemned, and in Condemned, it is a first-person sort of shooter, sort of melee, and you do forensics investigation during it. And that was the game that I used to play on just a monitor, that sat on top of my Xbox, and it made me jump so hard that I reached up and turned off the system. The jump scare, I just went no, and then shut it off.
I like
And that was
how
it.
you had the
Oh my
reflex movement to turn off your
Turn it
system.
off, yeah.
And not just like, ah!
Well, I kind of did that with Silent Hill Shattered Memories, because since the Wii had the speaker inside the controller, you could receive phone calls.
And you put the controller up to your ear
And
for
you would-
Shattered Memories. Yeah, and it would play a thing, and there was one about a kid who died from autoerotic asphyxiation inside the locker room at his high
And you're
school.
listening,
and you're listening
to him die. And I'm sitting here like,
Gross.
Yeah, Chuck was like, he turns and he's like, I gotta go home.
I just kind of went, just took the controller and went.
Did it give you an
But
erection?
yes, condemned Peter is
the
for sure.
suffering.
But yeah, about Medieval. What was Medieval? Tell me about that before.
Oh, you were a medieval knight and you were reanimated. That's why you look like a skull with skeleton.
Third-person action. Is it Zelda-esque in like puzzles, or is it mostly just hack and slash?
More like sort of like Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is scary for kids.
Okay.
But I don't mean like kids would find it scary. I mean, this is a scary game.
And our last suggestion for a scary game from Facebook is from Joseph Nobles, who's going old school with Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Father.
Gabriel Knight was a good scary.
And this was his quick story. About 2/3 into the game, you solve a pretty damn difficult puzzle. When I finally cracked it, about after 3 days of banging my head against it, it was 3:30 a.m. When I slipped the final stone into place, the result sent me backwards over my chair across the dark room, stifling a scream so I didn't wake other people in the house. And he said it was the perfect setup for like a really sadistic scare.
That's awesome.
Luigi's Mansion.
Mario! Mario! The suggestion that Luigi is dead as he's walking through this mansion. You ever
really?
heard that one before?
I have not heard that one before.
Yeah, that's one of the heavily kicked around fan theories about this game, is that everybody in the mansion is dead, including Luigi.
And our chat, Apex and Shadowstab say, don't forget Suffering. Suffering was a third person. It was sort of Max Payne-ish, right? But in the prison.
Yeah,
And gory and.
Oh yeah, you were trying to get out the whole time, weren't you?
It was like
Alien
a third-person
Isolation.
run-and shooter, right? Oh, Alien Isolation, so fun. I did not have that on my list, but that's a really good one.
I need to.
Alien Isolation is the only reason why Kinect ever worked, and it worked in that game, because that was the game where the sound
you
you
actually
made
had
in
to be
real life.
quiet
Yeah,
in
when
real
the
life,
alien
yeah.
came by.
Do
And so,
you think that would work with a headphone microphone?
It does. Yeah, it does.
Okay, good, because I would like to stream Alien Isolation if I ever get it.
So I was playing, and I had a Kinect at that time, and was going through a grate. The alien foot comes down in front of the grate, and I catch myself from yelling because it scared the shit out of me. And I'm sitting there being quiet as it sniffs around. Someone fucking texted me, and in real life, and the alien, like, because you start running because you can't kill it. You can only keep it at bay with like fire. But you can also trick it into killing other people. So like I came into a hallway and there's like a bunch of workers like doing shit, and I don't know if they're hostile or not, because you know and it doesn't tell you. You don't immediately know if people are going to be hostile towards you or not. And I was like, I got to get through here. I don't know if they're hostile. Sorry guys. So I threw a noisemaker into the room, like what the fuck, and the alien comes in and rips them to fucking shreds. And it's it's very good game. Alien Isolation is very highly recommended.
Might have to check it out.
And I don't know if you have like a screen for this, but I told you the Evil Within for me was really difficult because
Yes.
I own it on PS4.
And that was one of Shark's too. If I remember right, one of Shark's favorite games was Evil Within. Like right when we missed her, who slapped me in the face? It's just warm. It's just there's a this is
does
sort
look
of
like it.
this is it's not rosacea, but I
Cal Dane,
part-
have you never seen Steven before?
yeah.
Welcome to the party, man.
Here, do this.
No,
Do
but
this.
who, me?
Look at.
Oh yeah, no, that's not. I'm not even. Yeah, but my this
that's
is
ugly.
sort of. My face is not always this
Right.
red.
I
The
think
reason
you're
it
a
is
little
now
warm.
is I'm a little embarrassed because I kept hitting technical difficulties, and so this is sort of embarrassed face coming up as I try to get everything in order here.
But like I told you, I can't actually say Evil Within because I can't make it past the first 15 minutes because it's so, like, for me, I will jump and I'll be like, oh shit, I need to hit X, or oh shit, I need to hit like O, and you keep having to hide because the first thing you encounter is this Leatherface type thing. It is the very first thing. It's not a spoiler. It is this Leatherface type thing. You have to wait until he leaves. You have to get the key. You have to leave before he sees you. You have to hide, and then you have to go upstairs.
Right, like the
and
very,
then
very
the
beginning,
first
that's right.
hallway, you see him, and then you hide. But then he comes out, and then yes, chainsaw guy.
Yeah.
You have to hide under a bed. You have to hide behind a chair. You have to do something. But every time I tried, he would find me, or he would see me, and then just kill me.
First of all, Irrelevant, welcome. And Whatty Break, welcome as well. And so Evil Within plays like Resident Evil 4. It actually is more of a successor to Resident Evil than 5 or 6 really was.
Yeah.
And Shinji Mikami is the director. And one of the things that they do extremely well in that game is they include sort of, like, it's a good psychological sort of story.
Very much.
But the enemies that are not just the normal zombie villager people that you shoot, the enemies, and so here's a screenshot of Evil Within 2, and one of the enemies, the enemy design is fucking demented. A lot of the bosses are just really fucking gross.
Wait, fucking gross like, Flappy?
Yes. Yeah. So
that's great.
In Bloodborne, there is an enemy, and actually Bloodborne may be a good sort of October. It's not really a horror game, but it's
dark.
Pretty horrific sometimes.
And so the beast that Sam is talking about,
I call him Flappy.
is like they surgically tried to open his back, and those skin flaps are dangling to the side and flap as they
quite
jump
large.
around.
They're like Dumbo large.
Yeah.
And they're just these floppy, wet, bloody skin flaps that fly around as he flails at you, and you can hardly tell what he's doing because you don't know if it's his arm moving or his skin flap.
Because the skin flaps don't hurt you, but his arm swings do, and it's trying to see the enemy through the grossness is very cool.
Yeah.
But yes, and as was pointed out in the chat, Friday the 13th, which would be the week from Friday. A week from Friday at this point.
So it's actually,
Evil Within 2 comes out, and is very promising. Looks very promising to me.
just to clarify, Friday the 13th is actually in October this year?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Wadi Break mentions the box head guy in the first Evil Within being very cool.
And to answer your question, Kaldane, no, I have not played Sweet Home.
I think I may have. Do I have that?
I may need to emulate that.
I might have Sweet Home in here. I forgot to write it down, but I think I may have an image of it. And Resident Evil 7 is one that I'm going to play in October. I'm going to stream it, I think, with Sarah. Oh, Sweet Home, the NES game that inspired Resident Evil. We've actually talked about that on an old podcast.
We have.
Yeah.
I just.
But it's supposed to be real fucking good. Home Sweet Home is the one that I have on list. Thank you, Shark.
Clock Tower, if we're going to go old school. Anybody remember Clock Tower? That game
on the PlayStation 1, right?
On the Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
Because
of Clock
the
Tower
first-
like 3, I think.
Yeah, the first Clock Tower was never released in the United States. The only way that you can play it is through emulation or by finding a copy of it and
Right.
shelling out hundreds of dollars for it.
That's great.
And I think this is the Home Sweet Home
Yeah.
image.
The caption makes it great.
And it's similarly like I think you just hide. Like she's a crazy, fucked up, you're trying to get away and explore.
Mm-hmm.
And some games like Amnesia, I think are
I think that makes a game scarier is the inability to defend yourself. Like, that was one of the things that really sunk Resident Evil 5 and 6 was that all of a sudden you were going Rambo on all of these fuckers.
You had more abilities and better control of your character, and that's
Right.
sort of what made the first game scary, is that, like, if you wanted to turn around and run, it was like...
You know that thing I'd like to play, and I'm really surprised that a game hasn't come out to emulate it? A Pennywise the game.
Why?
Because you can't kill it. Like, in all retrospect,
Play Alien Isolation.
you can't kill him till the end.
Play Alien
I don't know
Isolation.
what you're talking
Nemesis,
about.
Resident Evil Nemesis. actually.
Resident Evil Nemesis.
And it game.
I'm jumping. Yeah, it's the clown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting because I mean I have arachnophobia. I have really bad arachnophobia. So like Limbo, I had to watch.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Oh, you should watch a couple of my streams of
No.
Lords of the Fallen
No.
then.
No, like I really wanted to see the collection because I like the collector. but I heard there was a spider scene, and I refused to go see it because I heard that, and so I can't. That would be the only part of an It movie.
It was like the thought of like a spider crawling down your leg, sort of like this. Freak you out?
Seeing it. I almost made spider earrings, but the problem is because I work in a salon, I'm surrounded by mirrors, and so
you'll see them and freak out. Yeah,
it would just be bad.
I just saw Phantasmagoria mentioned in the chat room, and for starters, what he break? That's sick. That is sick and wrong.
Phantasmagoria?
Yes. It is very, very bloody.
Yeah.
And if you want, Noah Antweiler, the Spoonie Experiment, he plays Phantasmagoria 2, A Puzzle of Flesh, from start to end, and he gets like all the endings and everything. So if you want to see just how gross these games can get, that's how it's done right there. Both of the games were back during the FMV era, back during the mid-90s, and we were like, we're going to be really cool and use live action for all of these scenes. And it didn't work.
No.
Like, hardly ever.
Yeah.
But Phantasmagoria and Phantasmagoria 2, to a greater extent, did do a better job of it.
And Shadowstep mentions Fatal Frame, which was on my list.
Oh,
Fatal Frame 2. Did you play it?
I played the first one, and earlier I was thinking, with you guys talking about like jump scares or things just scaring you and you having to turn off the system, I don't get that. I've never been so affected by a game before, and then I remembered Fatal Frame.
Yeah,
I couldn't finish it.
You got so scared you couldn't finish it.
It wasn't that I got so scared. It's like I couldn't handle it.
Because I completely agree with this.
Because
I've never turned off a game. It's the anxiety.
Have you guys ever not finished a horror game that you just couldn't do it?
It's the anxiety.
Deja vu.
Yeah, because
you,
with other
you get
games,
paranoid, and you're like, I don't feel comfortable in my own home. I know all the doors are locked. I know all the lights can be on, but I'll just be like, somebody's fucking watching me.
Well,
because of paranoia builds.
If that's the case, you would
a
be
bit different for me.
You would be glad to know that I'm not sure if they ever
that
actually,
I do watch you when you're in your home.
I mean, that's just how I roll. No, I'm not sure if they ever released it or if they ever finished it, but I remember hearing about an AR mobile game that would basically made your phone into the camera obscura.
Yes.
Why would anyone want to do that?
Because it's scary as shit. That's why.
Would you like to never feel safe? Download this app.
Apex Train says the first Fatal Frame. And Jonathan's a bit arachnophobic as well. Am I right? I think I'm remembering that right. I think I remember him. Yes, I do remember, because I remember at a Red 6 event, he was like, well, okay, set the place on fire. Where I see a spider, out comes the torch.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the game? Oh, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, yeah, if you are a gamer that generally doesn't get freaked out by horror games and scary shit, you want to play a game that will freak you out, play Fatal Frame. Because for me, it was not that there were scary things, it was that you never knew what direction they were coming from. There's doors, and in other games, a bad guy's going to come at you through the door or the window or a grate in the ceiling. In Fatal Frame, they come out of the floor or the wall. It doesn't matter.
Jonathan was really good about that AR game. Are you tired of your phone? Get this app. You'll throw it so damn hard. That's good. And Caldane mentions a game called White Day, a labyrinth-named school that was so scary they had to change the ending. Something I've never heard of, so that's worth looking up. Okay, what else do we have here? Lauren, this is one of yours. Yeah, we've got the Bioshock. Which is honestly creepy as shit. The Big Daddies are scary.
Well, and there's some jump scares, especially in the beginning, because you meet your first, I call them creepers.
The splicers.
Yes.
Yeah.
You meet your first splicer, and it crawls on the ceiling, but you see it the whole time. And so, for me, it's always the music. Because you hear the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and it's always supposed to be paranoia setting type music, and so you get the paranoia, it's like Skyrim when you hear the battle music, you're like, shit, and you're fucking looking everywhere, and so it's always like that. And so for me, Bioshock was a really good creepy game, at least 1 and 2. Because I always felt that Rapture, especially being underwater.
Because you're underwater, and you're surrounded by danger.
It's almost like your oxygen's limited, even though it's not really.
Yeah, you feel like you could stop breathing at any moment. What Break says, I'm playing a bunch of these games this month. Good call. You're not making me feel better about it. Yeah, we're prepping you for the October run. And Dragonfly says, if a spider invades my personal bubble, then he could die. If he leaves me alone, I may just catch and release him outside. No. Yeah, that makes sense.
Nope.
Spiders kill mosquitoes and flies and other garbage creatures.
So do I.
What?
Not nearly as effectively or efficiently as they do.
You.
Let me just a quick side note. The first time that I was in my apartment and I just moved in all my furniture, Peter Penny helped me, and under one of my favorite pieces of furniture, I found a spider web. A spider web. Just a spider web. Didn't see any eggs, didn't see any spiders, nothing. I will freak out and I will leave the room. And Peter will have to burn paper and rub it all over everything.
But is that a thing?
It's supposed to deter them. It's like peppermint and lavender to certain insects and stuff. But I don't care if I see a spider web. If I see any remnants of a spider, I don't care if it's dead.
Yeah.
I will freak the fuck out and I will leave the room.
Interesting.
It's crazy.
Actually, Woody Break has a good point. He said he jumps when he plays stuff like PUBG, and I do too. Because you're dead silent, and you're like, okay, looking around, and someone's got a sniper beat on you, and you just hear, you don't even hear it, it's just like, and you're dead. And yeah, I'll fucking almost piss myself.
So, is this... Sorry, is this screen
No.
visible? Okay.
No.
It is actually stuff like PUBG that has broken me from horror games. I no longer get jump scares the way I do with PUBG, because with PUBG, it is literally random. You have no idea it's coming. Whereas with most games, they tend to give you at least a tiny little bit of a hint that maybe something can happen.
Right. And so this one is from Sarah, and actually is from, I'm going to go on a limb and say it's also from Jonathan and from Alicia. I'm going to play you guys a clip of a scare. So here's your little headphone warning, because this is going to scare the shit out of Jonathan, Alicia, and Sarah. This is Until Dawn on PS4. Phenomenal horror game. Very good. I very much recommend it.
Probably just a great game altogether.
And so this is one of the jumps that really got them. If you guys can't hear it, then I'll stop it, but I think you should be able to hear it.
Away from him.
Did you go down?
I can't hear it.
I can't see it.
They can.
Well, but why do they get to hear it and I don't?
Hold on.
Can they hear us?
Okay, it's probably just like a bat or something. All right, coming after you. Just stay put. Why? You cannot scream! You cannot scream at me!
And that jump. So what for you guys, because you didn't hear it, I forgot to turn up the TV. That's my fault.
Was that a literal jump? Scare?
Jonathan had a jump. The two girls jumped and screamed, which then sent Jonathan into a yell. And yeah, it was pretty freaking amazing. Probably to me, and I'm gonna sort of bring it around here. Probably to me, one of the scariest video games I've ever played in my entire life. One that affected me greatly was Silent Hill 2. The first time I played it, I was in college, and I was having walking nightmares. Like, I'd go to class the next day, and this game just fucked with me. Like, I couldn't sleep. It was bad.
I remember watching you play that. It just seemed boring.
And I understand that. Like, I understand that. But it was all about, again, the jump scares. There's almost no jump scares in it. It's all about what you're worried about attacking you and hearing something off in the distance, and you can't see very well, and you are shit for fighting.
So, Battlegrounds.
A little bit, yeah. When I played Battlegrounds, I was shit for fighting. But it was so disturbing, but the story was so good, and I won't ruin it for you guys if you guys want to play it, but it is worth playing. The ending is also so fucked up that it just sits on my brain.
Oh, You know what? I think I did play that one.
Yeah. At the beginning of the game, you get a note from your dead wife. You go to Silent Hill.
The end of the game. I mean, it's been out forever. Can I just
There's
talk
like
about
15 different endings of it.
Oh, I guess there are a bunch of different endings to it anyway.
The end of the game, I fought like a girl that was tied to a bed or something.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's two. Yeah.
Okay. So I did play that one. And I do have to say that one, it was really good because you're right. There was no jump scares. It was just the environment that you were in that was terrifying.
Yeah, it was hostile and
what's it called?
honestly,
like the general feeling,
the ambiance,
the ambiance. Yes, and like it was just there was no like, oh god, that's scary. It's like you walk through a door and you're like, oh, what the fuck now?
Yeah. Like there was only one part of Silent Hill 4, The Room, that made me feel like it was a Silent Hill game. When you're walking around another apartment complex and you're on the other side, right, the scary side, you walk into this room and on the other side of this giant plate glass window is this great big huge fuck off human eye that's watching your every move.
Yeah.
4 or 3?
That was in 4.
Okay.
I remember that was in 4 because, again, that's the only good part of that game.
And I think that the reason it worked so well
on Beyonce.
on Beyonce,
Yeah.
Ambiance.
is because it plays on that. It plays on that human thing where we fear what we don't understand, and you don't understand
You don't
shit.
understand shit about
But that's
Silent Hill
one of
2.
the things that made Shattered Memories so scary, was that just before you started a new section of the game, there was a psychiatrist who would start to ask you questions about shit. And Until Dawn did the same thing,
yeah.
too. Now, my question is, since I haven't played Until Dawn, how much does the psychiatrist's questions affect what you see in the game?
Very little.
Because in Shattered Memories, it affects almost everything you see.
Very little. There's a few things here and there, like decorative things. It's not a lot. And Shadowstep mentioned Doom 3, and Whitey Break said there was a part where everything's dark and there's a glass window at the top of the room. We looked, we knew something was going to happen, and sure enough, there was a loud screech, and he lost his shit. So, to me, Silent Hill 4 was very scary. 2 was probably the scariest one. 3 the least. If you're gonna, they're all sort of barely related, but not really. So you can sort of start anywhere in Silent Hill if you want, but I recommend Silent Hill 2.
Don't
for
click
sure.
the link. It's a spider. I already know. Do
Close your eyes.
Please don't click the link.
Close your eyes.
Please
Just
don't
for a
click the
second.
link.
Close your eyes.
Just for a second. I want to see if Caldane sent us something that's actually topical that I can use on the podcast.
Oh. You dick.
You're right. No, you're right. I turned it off. It's gone. Caldane sent us a picture of a spider.
That wasn't even the scariest spider.
It's just like a wolf spider.
See, I'm not the only one that hates you.
I don't know the difference. All I think is, haha, fuck that.
You should have sent us
Of
one
the
of those
Resident-
really gangly looking ones with the really long legs.
A hairy
It
One
looks
of
like
those
it,
great big fuck off camel spiders from Afghanistan.
into your foot and lays its eggs inside you.
shark. That is not fucking funny.
JB says that's what you call a hairy northern nope.
Caldane is what you call a hairy northern nope.
Oh, that was fantastic.
That was good. I like that.
But Shark says, "Oh, it's a kitty," and I could hear Shark's voice when she typed
Yeah.
it.
Oh, is it
What's the scariest Resident Evil you guys have played?
Scariest Resident Evil?
Yeah, and Resident Evil became progressively less scary as the series went on. It basically became an action game by 5. But which one was scariest for you guys?
Well, it started at 4.
Yeah, I did
Right?
start at 4.
I mean,
they started
like,
getting a little bit more...
4 became more actiony, but it was still like there were some intense, sort of freaky moments in 4. But you're right. It became. So Whitey Break says Nemesis. Shadowstep says 0.
Are all the Resident Evil games on Xbox?
No.
Yes.
No.
PlayStation.
Which is it?
You can play. The only ones you can't play on Xbox are 2 and 3.
So they're
So,
on PlayStation.
What you meant was no.
I asked, are they only
Sorry.
on Xbox?
They are not only. Oh, I thought you said, are they all on Xbox? And I was like, yeah.
Are
Oh,
they
wait, no, not
only
no,
on Xbox?
No. The answer is
Okay.
no. They're not only on. They're on everything. You
That
can
was
play
going to
everything
be
on it.
my
PC,
excuse
PlayStation.
because I've not played Resident Evil.
I think most of the original ones came out on PlayStation, right? Yeah, the Resident Evil came out on the original PlayStation.
2 was scary. To me, the scariest one I think was the HD was the remake of the first one on GameCube. The reason being Crimson Heads. Because in that was the first Resident Evil where
they had
some zombies came back. And
when they came
before.
back, they were really angry.
Yeah. Sarah had another suggestion if you guys want to shit yourself. This is a Flash game. It's called Hotel 626. And it's like Doritos made it. It was like a part of a marketing thing. But it's a Flash game. You can only play it between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m.
What?
That's awesome.
I watched a video of it, and it's pretty freaky. You know, something that Joseph said earlier. Your mileage may vary. It may not hit you, just depending on your personality. But it's got some pretty freaky shit in it. And I like, oh goodness, when I was watching the video, that was my reaction.
There's actually a phone app that Peter introduced me to. I think it's just called Sim. Peter knows what I'm talking about, but it's just a phone app, and it takes over your phone. So you have an unlock screen, you have like a keypad screen, and you have everything, and you have people. Let me pour Chuck. You have people who text you and call you, and so you have videos. You have. Sorry, I dripped a little. You have videos.
That's
you
what
have
she said.
things that Sarah's missing. SIM, and so it's really creepy in the way that you're put to the test, and you have to do certain things. You have to do whatever, and so it's probably like a 2-hour-long game. Mm-hmm. But you can really space it out. But it's very anxiety inducing.
Sure.
It's there's no real like music to the background or anything, but it makes you think, oh my god, like I could have just killed somebody if this were a real life thing. And for me anyway, it really checks your moral code and sees what you do. But like the second time you play it, you're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those things.
And also, just as a side note, one of the old CD-ROM games that actually like scared me. It was a first-person puzzle game, sort of like Myst. It was called The Seventh Guest.
Ah, yes.
And these days, it's just going to be too fucking goofy for it to be scary because they use a lot of like live action,
a lot of FMV stuff,
and so it's going to be stupid. But at the time, like you're in a haunted house and there are ghosts and you're trying to figure out what happened and who killed who and stuff, and it was very like, and they're talking about Hotel 626. Jonathan was like, yeah, for fuck's sake, that was scary as shit, for the record. So guys, almost at the end of every night, we do a toast. So tonight's toast to the scariest game or the biggest jump you've ever had. What is it?
Okay.
Take a moment and think. If you have one. Mine, I toast Condemned. I think Condemned was probably the biggest. And I don't jump easy. When I played Until Dawn with them, I sort of held it the whole time. But Condemned made me freak the fuck out.
Mine's not in gameplay.
Okay.
For some reason, if I'm working or I'm in hard thought, if you come up from behind or the side of me and I don't see you, Bioshock Infinite. Probably. If I don't see you, I will jump and I will look at you like you just committed the worst sin I've ever seen. And I guess it would be Bioshock Infinite. One of the, I guess. Oh, I had it's one of the light people that like their heads are lights, and if they see you, they start bum rushing you with all these George Washington personas, and I turned around. He was like right fucking there, and I was like, so yeah, it's probably one of the light guards, but yeah.
How about you, Sam?
Samuel.
Your toast this evening. Fatal Frame, since you never finished it.
Yeah, it wasn't a jump scare. It was just an inability to cope with ghosts coming through walls and shit.
That's interesting.
Because I always like I do I check my corners when I come into a room, and I keep my back to the wall, and I go around the room and I'm like this. But you can't do that in Fatal Frame because they come out of the wall.
You can't get into a corner. How about you, Chuck?
Still thinking. What about you?
Mine was Condemned.
Oh.
Shutting off my system, searching the school.
We're just
He
waiting on
was
you, man.
thinking so hard. He just
Something that
didn't
really
hear you.
affected you, or made you jump, or you couldn't cope with.
The thing that I couldn't cope with.
That Silent Hill one was pretty bad.
Deja Vu
Oh yeah.
for the NES.
You mean Uninvited?
Yeah, Uninvited. Sorry.
Uninvited.
Deja Vu was fine.
That's a spy game.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Uninvited for the NES, I have only ever seen 3 screens of that fucking game. 3.
Because you're in one screen is a room.
Like the first screen, you're outside the house. The next screen, you're in the lobby, and then the next screen, you're in the foyer.
And there's the
And then there's the Maureen O'Hara ghost.
yeah. The
So
skeleton
the
thing.
fourth, there are
The
4
screen.
screens
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
And you just went, nope.
I mean, it's not just that. It's just like, for starters, that image creeped me out when I was a little kid. And then when I went back to play it in my teens, I remember that image creeped me out on its own. But then I could power my way through it like I did with Shadowgate,
Yeah.
which was another one that kind of creeped me out. But trying to play through the Uninvited again, I literally could not figure out where I was supposed to go or what I was supposed to do.
That is
I
terrifying.
could not figure anything out. So it felt like the entire fucking purpose of the existence of this game was for you to be killed by a skeletal ghost that was dressed like Maureen O'Hara.
That'd be an awesome game. Like, you can't win.
So we toast to our jumps. And to
our
the month of
jumps.
October.
To our jumps and our junks.
That Jaeger.
That was delicious.
Lukewarm coffee.
Water.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, we got a thing.
Thank you for following.
look.
Thanks
Follow.
for the follow.
Follow.
We appreciate it. Oh, the last thing that we do on the podcast before we call it a night.
I think Sam should read it.
Circle jerk.
go
Oh,
with the can.
yeah, I can. Sorry.
No, it's
Can.
No, it's a circle jerk, all right.
yep. And we
Just not the kind that you want, Sam.
a couple of last minute from the chat. Indigo Prophecy, which I guess
Started out amazing.
was it scary though?
It was trying to be scary.
It did. It was pretty tense. Like near the beginning,
It was
I
like
killed a
watching
guy
a
and I
rated R
have to.
Supernatural.
That's true. Yeah, I'll give you that. And Amnesia, we actually mentioned Amnesia, but only in passing. I actually haven't played it.
You should fix that. Highly recommended.
Okay, so
I thought Sam was gonna read it.
Yeah, guest, read it.
is it jeans? Oh, I get it. Who's yeah? You can figure out how to read right now.
Gotcha. Yeah. Whose fictional characters' genes make you? So, like, if you had 2 fictional character parents, who would they be?
Yeah, from games, from a video game. What 2 characters birthed you?
Ooh.
That's a really good question. That's a real good question.
I'm hard.
That's hard as shit.
I know my actual, like, I guess wannabe persona. Like, it's not 2 characters, it's 1 character as an individual. That's who I would emulate myself after.
Oh, Jay.
No. You have to.
I know.
So Jared Earl says
Yeah,
And
the
Ulfric
shark guy.
can't do haunted houses because he swing punches.
I can't
get it
either.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't be violent. I'll just be upset.
No, I would clock a motherfucker.
I love horror and I love jump scares and everything, but like, I think I would pee myself. Like, I would think I would need adult diapers to go to a haunted house because I've never been.
Oh, the best thing I ever saw at a haunted house was a dude who like runs out from around a shed with a running chainsaw and chases you down and pokes at you with it. It just doesn't
Because
have a
it doesn't
chain.
have a chain on it.
But you don't realize that.
you don't, you're looking
like,
at it.
You lay on your back and accept death, and then they let you go.
And then he just pokes you with
Okay,
it.
I've got my 2. I don't remember his name, but it's the main character from Tales of the Borderlands. Is my dad, and Cortana is my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, I think pretty highly of myself. if you ask me.
I would say Master Chief and Jesus.
It had a gay baby.
That's Sam.
Oh my god.
That's Sam.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Also, Jesus is a fictional character.
Chuck.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
Oh, I will. He's right.
Gutter Nerds has no opinions on anything.
Jonathan says, "Don't know about my mom. My dad is Sonic the Hedgehog."
No, your dad would have to be someone who bounces. Tigger.
Chuck, you are
I'm gonna look at your games.
Sarge from Halo.
Oh yeah.
Mixed,
Red versus blue.
mixed with
Donut.
a Goron from Legend of Zelda.
I was gonna say a Krogan, but
Or a Krogan, yeah, that would work too.
I don't know. I feel like if we're gonna be able to do two male characters, then I would say a Krogan and then Alistair from Dragon Age.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna be able to do this better than I would.
I think for you, it's going to be Alice from Alice Madness Returns,
Thank you.
which is also a game that you put on your list as a game that freaked you out.
That's who I was gonna emulate.
And
Like,
your
that's my persona.
and your dad is Commander Shepard from Mass Effect, the Paragon one,
You're gonna have to.
or no, the Renegade one. The Renegade one.
No, make her a Krogan. I'll take Sarge
It's like
from
you're sort of like
Red versus blue.
rough and tumble mixed with that, like you punch a motherfucker if they talk you wrong.
Wait.
So,
were
a
you
Krogan.
were you saying Sarge from Halo or Sarge from Red versus Blue?
Sarge
From
from
Kai, I think I've totally
Shaolin
fuck
Kai
up.
Kai.
Thank you. I fuck up names all the time.
And
Appreciate the
you.
follow.
Shut
We appreciate it. We appreciate it
It's
so much.
Chinese.
We love you guys. We have
How
had 3.
shall I get
I
my-
didn't follow
actually
it.
didn't
You guys
see
are
it.
the
All
best.
I saw was X something.
You guys are fantastic.
XIAOLINCA.
Next, and you guys are fantastic also. Thanks for coming by. And Sam,
Xiaolian?
thanks for sitting in today.
Shaolin.
Thanks for being in the gutter, Sam.
Shaolin Kai Kai.
I'm always in the gutter, just not necessarily yours.
Next week, we're going to be talking about Destiny 2. We're going to review the game so far. And it's going to be me and Sam and Whitney will be here. Chuck, you'll be off next week. Calvin's off next week. And we'll sit and have a chat with Destiny. You can interview us about Destiny.
I'm not going to be
Excellent. Yes, I will be the new
mentally?
guy for Destiny
No,
2
at all.
because
At all?
here.
No. I don't care what you have to say anyway. That's okay. But
Yeah. I'm just an ass in a seat.
just Gravy said my mom is Navi for his mom.
Hey,
yeah. Navi and Sonic. That's great.
Oh God.
That makes sense. No.
So yeah, so next week we'll be talking about Destiny 2. This week, Tuesday night, we will be streaming Wildlands, Jonathan and Whitney and Game Guy and I. And Thursday, there's no Destiny this week. You guys are going to a good cause. So Thursday, I believe we're going to do some Kane and Lynch 2.
yup, we gonna do some Kane Lynch too.
So that's the plan.
I need a new game.
At the very last thing that I want to say, on a very serious note, is that on a very serious note, the shit that happened in Vegas is absolutely fucking terrifying.
Absolutely awful.
I'm not even going to pretend to know what the answer is, but I will tell you that if you have family or friends that were affected by it, like reach out to them, let them know that you love them. It's fucking horrifying, and I had to caption it all day for work.
Oh God.
Every show. So it's awful, and that's not a like it sucks to be me thing. Like I do my job. That's not supposed to be about me. My point is
You know what's
that
going on.
I'm aware, and
all the
it's
details,
just
yeah.
fucking
I'm surprised you don't feel hollow right now after all of that.
I've been in a bad mood all fucking day. It sucks.
I'm just gonna have to start coming to terms with the fact that I might die getting shot in a crowd.
At a
concert,
somewhere
at a
that you
movie.
love. A movie,
Doing something you want
at
to
church,
be doing.
wherever you got like just.
For no reason whatsoever.
I
because
don't say this
some
to make you paranoid.
asshole had a bad day.
I don't say
Shark
this
doesn't even
to
know.
upset you,
see-
or try to make you fatalistic or anything like that.
Yeah,
So just take the time to love.
I got my
For
internet
Christ's
back.
sake.
I got my internet back last night just in time to find out what happened in Vegas.
So
Well, I got up this morning and Yahoo app.
yeah.
It's just like,
overloaded.
oh, there's this.
Why are
and
we
so,
ending on this note?
Just I want to make sure that we've addressed it, but it is very important to me that whether it is a terrorist attack in whatever sense of the word you want to use the word terrorist attack, whenever this kind of thing happens, I want to push on, continue about your day. My point is that when these things happen, you want to be aware of them and you want to be reverent to the people that affected by it. But if you let it affect or change your everyday life,
Then
and
they'll
this is
win.
where we fucked up at 9/11, is I did a story in September a few weeks ago
People still
about
going to
kids
work.
who celebrate their birthdays on different days. And to me, that is fucked up. You're letting them win doing that. It's your birthday, you do whatever you want, but that's my thing. So let's, please, go about your day, be happy.
And they need to stop reporting the names of the people who do this.
Oh, yeah.
They should just be forgotten.
And they shouldn't tell them, and I think they shouldn't tell us what they look like, what their political views were.
No pictures,
The some asshole.
Yeah.
Some asshole, and these are the victims that are important.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the thing. Love each other. And we will be back next week for more fun and love and ripping on Calvin or ripping on Chuck.
Calvin.
And Caldane had a Twitter friend who works for the EMSA in Vegas. So yeah, for sure, please, just love each other. That's all we ask. My name is Steven.
I hate you fucking guys.
I forgot. I was supposed to be sitting in for Calvin, so
Yeah,
let's get our dicks wet!
that's Sam. Carrying on as we are. What's your name, girl?
I'm Lauren.
What's your name, boy?
Excuse me.
Ooh, I like that voice.
Okay, can we have Sam read like Chuck did with the Scottish accent, please?
What am I reading?
That's Chuck, by the way.
Yes, this is Chuckles.
Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody.
Come follow me. I'm almost done with Lords of the Fallen on my channel.
And we'll see you next time.
Sam, read.
Okay, so
read in a voice.
Chuck read these in
The worst Scottish accent ever.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go anywhere near that, so choose a different accent.
Anything.
Not Irish. Because I'm going to go back to
Christopher
Irish.
Walken.
Cast and crew, Chuck, Byronic Commando, Calvin, Corporate Cal, at Corporate Hobbs, whatever the fuck that means, Lauren, at Lauren Low, G. N. Lauren, JB, Just Gravy Baby, Whitney, she's new. Whitney Lee, age 23. I like it, it rhymes. Shock, at K. Chalk. Sorry, Shock. Also, hedgyhates.com.
That's fantastic. That is
That was
fantastic.
beautiful. I'm so proud.
Our new followers, thank you. Our
Absolutely.
subscribers, thank you.
Before you go, can you say a line for me?
Oh, no.
Since I'd like to confuse Christopher Lee with Christopher Walken, can you tell me that I have elected the way of pain?
You have elected the way of pain.
Thank you.